Thanksgiving to everybody out there. There's okay. So Thanksgiving 2024. I don't know what time in the morning. Minty's supposed to go live here in a little bit. I watched the Thanksgiving Day parade. Had my chocolate pie and my whipped cream with it. It was good. It was good. I'm about to embark on my Thanksgiving supper and going to make a video. It's the title and the name of the dish is called, I'm calling it Yam Patty Puddin. Puddin! Anyway, so, and a lot of mental preparation has went into this because I never made it before. My yam patties is going to be the Clayton House recipe, which was you take and line them in a big pan. I've got a little pan, so just going to make it my little size. Your big candied yam patties. It's there's all of the yam patties I can find on YouTube. There's like 4 total videos that really didn't help at all. It was what I was going for, but they weren't. Mine called for a lot more butter, which I don't want, and just kind of blah way it is. And I used to love it. We put it on the line, and then we'd get to take home what's on the line, and it was great. After it's on the line all day, it's really good. So anyway, this here, what's going to end up, I looked up sweet potato casseroles. There are more than 17 of them because I quit watching them at 17. I watched 17 sweet potato casserole videos on YouTube. And okay, so I'm in my mind got it figured out kind of how I want to do it. And but here's why I'm calling it pudding instead of casserole, because it is an enigma to me. It has really sparked something in my brains to ask the question, is it a dish, is it a side dish, or is it a dessert? Are yam patties and sweet potatoes the same thing? Could there be a conspiracy on the part of the yam patty industry to make you believe they are, but they're not? Don't one have a pointy end and the other one's round? All these questions that I still really don't have good answers to, except it says on the package of the yam patties, in ingredients, yams, and then in parentheses it says sweet potato. Now, if you're doing math, it means they are the same, but if you're doing proper English, they're not the same, according to the punctuations. I'm not going into real detail. This is just supposed to be a fun, loving thing to do, and never done it. We're going to cook by the seat of our drawers on this Thanksgiving. Thank God thank God that there was a camera app I could download on my phone, because guess what? After the update, it didn't have one. So with that being said, here we go, Junior. Yam patty pudding. As best as I could come up with it. Yeah. And stop. All right. Just bust right into it. I've got 2 pounds of these yam patties, Picked Sweet Farms yam patties. These are frozen. I thawed them out because I'm going to mash them. The other recipe was candied yams. I just put them frozen in this pan. I got a buttered pan, by the way. I'm going to cram all this into this pan. As much of it as I can feel, I think it'll work. It's going to have a pecan crust on top. Should be really good. That's what I'm going for. Okay, it's basically, it's like it's pudding, but it's kind of the shepherd's pie of desserts, kind of. That's what my mentality. What? Whoa, there's plastic inside? Oh, okay, they put this between them and I didn't know. I'm fixing to say we're not having them this year. After all, I won't eat a defective product. And this would have went up on YouTube over it anyway. So there's that. Oops. Dump them. Right there. I'm cooking them on the grill now, boy. Okay, I need the fun part. And mash. Oh, this is great, because I thought I was going to have to heat them up. Because one of the 17 videos I watched on sweet potato casserole, the guy, he says I treat my sweet potatoes like regular mashed potatoes. He made sweet mashed potatoes and loaded it up. Now, something I'm going to do with this that none of the other sweet potato casseroles did, they're not going to season this what I'm calling the filler, the base. I'm going to put ground cinnamon and allspice. I ain't bought allspice in 30 years. I used to have all the spices. Didn't know how to cook, but I had them all because my kitchen looked good back in the day. So that's as mashed as I guess I'm going to get. What I've got to do now is add 3 medium-sized eggs. I didn't have those out. Well, let's do the butter first. It ain't going to hurt nothing. I need... Here. It calls for half a stick of butter, and I need to use it up anyway. It's about a tablespoon over, so I'm just going to... And this is something that none of the 17 videos did. They didn't grate their butter into the recipe because they didn't know that they could. And I saw a video, I can't remember who it was, but they were making something, they were really having trouble cutting the butter, cutting it into the flour. If you do this, your butter, and now they even say to freeze it, but I don't freeze my butter unless I buy a whole bunch of it. But it just, right out of the refrigerator, it shreds like cheese. And I'm just going to shred this whole thing into it. What happens is it breaks up into little pockets, just like a biscuit would. That's what I noticed when this one guy did it. He cut his butter into small, tiny cubes and worked it in to his deal. Some of them just threw it in there. Some of them melted their butter. This is just my way that I learned how to do this, making biscuits. Makes your flaky biscuits. It makes a difference, and it's easier. This is such easy cleanup. Just run hot water over it, and the chemicals they put in our water basically cleans it. Anyway, so yeah, buddy. Oh no, I think it was funny. So yeah, it's just a little hot water and nothing to it. So we're gonna throw that in there. I'm gonna throw 3 eggs in here. Let me bust that up before I get to doing much. And I'm not going to mash that in because they're clumped. They're like already 3 clumps of butter clumped up, which is why you'd want to freeze it. I froze my butter one time, and I won't do it again because it's so hard to grate. If you've got one of them high dollar, really razor sharp, wow, that didn't work. So that was a waste of time. So I'm going to have to mash this. It'll work. It all works out. Let's see here. There's that then. I'm prepared for anything. Ha-ha! You're not going to beat me today. Yam patty pudding. I noticed something else. This is just me. I've never been to culinary school, so just leave it in the comments. Doesn't matter. But this is rude. To me, this is kind of they bang their stuff on the edge, and I don't get. It's like you shouldn't do that. Like invest in at least one of these so you can get all the stuff out of the can instead of wasting it. See how that's broke up? That's what I want. And look at me just doing it. It's out of, it's a muscle memory learnt trait that you do along with what you're doing. It's a hard habit to break. Okay. Let's see here. 3 eggs. Medium-sized eggs. Because they studied, they got an A. I got smart eggs. Yep. I've debated too. I've got eggnog. I think I'm going to put eggnog in it. We'll see. I think I will. I'm getting ahead of myself. 3 eggs. They're medium-sized eggs, so what I'll do, you can use 2 large eggs. That's what these have always come to. I've made plenty of cakes and stuff. And I know you're not supposed to crack your egg right into it, but I know what I'm doing. As far as that goes, you got to get your daily, your roughage from the eggshell. There's no eggshell in there. I'll dig it out if I see one. But it ain't going to hurt you none. If you can't see it, it's not going to hurt you. And I'm still alive. But yeah, that's not medical information. It's more nutritional, I think. I can debate it with YouTube, I guess. And then we're going to put eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, I guess we're going to use eggnog this year. All right. So I'm going to put a cup. My gosh, let me look. Well, crap. I got to go look at something real quick. Hang on, I got to stop her. Alrighty, I did the research and I forgot to preheat my oven to 350. I'm going to preheat it for 10 over and then I'll compensate for opening the door. I put my 3 eggs. Put 3 eggs. That's why I always put the shells back in case I forget. It don't look like it, but yeah, I see it now. I put 3 eggs in there. Okay. And I looked at, I'm going to go with start with a half cup and see what it looks like. This is all new to me. That eggnog's thicker than milk, so it might hold up. I want to put as much of it as I can in here without going over if the price is right. This starts to be really good stuff, too. Just eggnog. Because I've already quality checked it. It's good stuff. You gotta lick it. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape that so I get every drop I can. That stuff's almost $5 a quart. Yep. Let's see here. So there's that. I'm gonna put my seasoning in somewhere over the range. I got a measuring spoon. 1 teaspoon. Here's the way I do it. The lids. I'll take the lid off. See, it's just big enough to put one of these in here. I put it in there and then I scrape it across the top as best I can. Well, that's not going to work. But that's about a teaspoon. Teaspoon, that smells good. Teaspoon of the allspice. And they said you don't want to overdo it with the cinnamon. One dude put cinnamon in here, that's right. He said, but don't overdo it. So I'm going to put a small, well, come on, man. That is a heaping teaspoon. I don't want it. There we go. That's about an even. That'll work. That's it. You put both of them together and it's magic. Okay, so there's all that. And then I should get my masher out of here now that I can start stirring. Here's what I want to do. You want to incorporate it without really messing it up too hard or overworking it. But you want to get everything in there. It's going to all mix together and circulate as you're cooking it a little bit. But they had no qualms. Some people, you know, yeah, they mixed it with a mixer. I don't have a mixer. Man, I ain't even got a... I'm good to have a cutting board and a knife. That's looking good, son. Now, I gotta take my cup because I need to measure something. I don't have a glass measuring cup, or else this would be dry for the sugar, but that's okay. That's why they make paper towels that are really absorbent. And will do just fine for brown sugar anyway. That's going to be a cup of brown sugar, packed, cut. I started to open this here and seems like I've got the wrong bowl for the job, but after I use this, probably not. I don't know. You know, I don't use a lot of brown sugar, so I don't know for sure. But I know you always pack it when you measure it. You don't do it with flour or other sugar, like white sugar. I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to be, this don't have to be exact. It's not going to hurt me. In fact, I could put a little more in there. Woo-hoo. The Justin Wilson method of cooking calls for if enough's enough, more's better, right? So there we go. I'm not going to get that pen over it. Now what my point was to put this in a bowl, seal it with a lid, and I'm going to get away with it too. Not going to catch me riding dirty. Go. I got brown sugar all over my hands. That's fine. Okay. Excuse me. I'm trying to hurry. You don't want to rush nothing. But I like to keep my area clean. I don't like it building up on me. That don't go in the icebox. This does. Hang on, I'm coming. Oh. Keep her in here on top of sugar. Okay. Cut this in.
This Thanksgiving, let me know who's celebrating Easter enough.
Beating this does something to it where folding it does something else. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to see. We'll find out. It's all going to be good. I just don't want it soupy. I want it to be stiff, but I believe the eggs will take care of that. I believe I've got it where once you can blend it together and see the little pockets of butter. That's what you want. Okay. Do a taste test. Right on the money. Whoa, that's good. That is sweet potato heaven right there, boy. Okay. So I'm gonna wash this off. It's annoying me. And then try to get started on my top. Let's see here. Pan. I might have too much. I don't know. Alright, it's gonna work. As long as it don't bubble over the edge. This shouldn't rise or anything. It's not like that. All of it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Time I get it even. That crumb topping, it's going to be perfectly tall enough. Just the right amount of everything. It seemed like after watching 17 videos, I think I got a feel for it. Man, that's good. Okay. I'm going to set that to the side and start on my crumb now. Okay. I've got this here. Let's see. First things first. I want to put this thing's nice and dry from that. A cup of sugar. Oh, that's got. Take on it. My deal is this would probably normally, maybe, according to the 17 videos now that I remember when you put it together, about a stick and a half of butter. If you're using sweet potatoes, I can see it. But I know what a stick of butter will do to a dessert. And if you see the principle of the whole thing is the sweet potatoes are your starch. They're like the bread. If you're using flour, it'd be a cake. If you're using biscuits, it would be a bread pudding. If you used rice, it'd be rice pudding. Right, but that's a cup of that. And out of all of them, now this is important. The flour to this topping. If you want a more crumbly topping, you use more flour. You want a more pecan pie crust on top, you use less flour. A guy used actually a cup of sugar, a stick of butter, and a cup of flour. But he was doing a bigger sheet pan or a bigger pan. I've seen him use a cup of sugar and then use a quarter cup, even an eighth of a cup of flour. I'm going with the most of them used a third cup. I don't like to get odd like that, but I've got one, so we're just going to do that. What I'll do is take this big spoon. This is how you measure flour, by the way. Put it here where you can see. That's a quarter cup scooper I got. Okay, you take a spoon, just loose, and put it in and rake it across that line. And it's, there's a line in it. Well, you don't want to pack it down. That's the point. You want to get it smooth across the top. And this has a line where you can go around it with a spoon like that. And basically, for the most part, I need probably another little teaspoon. And I'm going to call it done. That's a third cup flat, all-purpose flour. Yeah. There's my flour. There's my sugar lid. I never saw them put any spice in their topping, so I'm not doing any of that. It's got plenty enough spice in it for sure. It tastes like Thanksgiving. And I was debating whether to put cherries or nuts in it. I'm not. Ooh. Ooh. A clump of brown sugar makes a difference. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to whisk this together. This is where I'll put in a cup of nuts. I wanted more, but I don't think I think it would bite me in the end. And this is a cup of nuts, pecans. I wasn't going to use anything else. That thing cost me $4. It's $4 a cup. For pecans. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shred my butter inside this here, and then get this mixed up good. I'm going to get it. I'll knead it to where it's crumbly, where the butter really melts down into it. See, once you shred this butter and get it incorporated in there, it'll start getting malleable and melt. The friction from it all moving around together heats it up. I'm not patting myself on any back. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I come up with that all on my own. Just from learning science in school. School. It's the way they spell it. It's the way I'm going to pronounce it. Public school. Anyway. Now I'm going to grate half this stick of butter. I'm going to eyeball it. Actually, if you didn't want to, you could take this knife here and go half. Put a mark there. We'll grate to that line. Nope, I didn't cover my line up. One more tablespoon to go. There it is. One more line. Half stick of butter. I just didn't want it to be so greasy. Wash my hand off real quick. Oh, I got my turkey still marinating in Frank's Red Hot dressing. I'll show you that. I had a bunch of this. I am in no way affiliated with this product in any way, sort, shape, or fashion whatsoever. Now, with that being said, this stuff, I don't put it on everything, but it don't have an expiration date on it. I got it 3 years ago, and I'm still alive. So there you go. Yeah. I ain't nobody neither. I sure ain't no mutant or Superman. I'm a real live boy. Just here. Fluff that around. Where is that? I just had it in my hand. Okay. All right. Well, that should cut that butter right up. As long as I don't touch it, it don't get no heat to it. So it should break apart. That's what I went wrong. I grabbed the wad of it, went to doing. It'll happen. There's my oven's preheated. That's good to know. Yeah, I want all that broke up in there. It wouldn't hurt nothing to just not even try to just put it on top. But I know why you're supposed to get. You want it to incorporate. There's a blended. You want it blended. Well, so I'm gonna have to get my fingers in there. We're there. There's this big clump that I'm not impressed with. But I'll go in here and just start kneading it together, like milking a cow, and turn it round and round. And it'll start to form these clumps. So I want the clumps because that butter is melting and distributing all through that molasses. There's a certain amount of oil that comes off of a pecan when you heat it up. It's about to smell real good in here too, by the way, because all these spices and pecans, man, have an aroma. When you go to roasting them, can't be beaten. This is getting there. It's starting to clump up. It doesn't take much. See, the flakes are gone. And there's one pocket. I like mine smaller. I like them broke down. They had golf balls in his. That's another thing. Out of 17 sweet potato casserole videos on YouTube. Two of them showed you the finished product because people are doing this the night before and they're making it 4 times this big. The recipe that I got it from are broken down from 4 times the size. But it all comes out like you're making a cake with that filling anyway. And then this here is the crumble topping. I make the best cake I've ever made was a cherry crumble cake. And I did it this way. I didn't have brown sugar. I used white sugar, but you take 2 cups flour and you pull half cup out. And you mix it with extra sugar and do it on top. Yeah, with a little grease. Okay, now wash my hands because I can't stand that. But to moisture that up, it's going to help me evenly distribute the crumbs on top. See, it ain't like I studied. I went to college for this thing right here. Kinda, so I may have too much crumble. That would be a disaster. I don't think I can have too much crumble. I think it's all going to even. Oh, I'm not picking that up. Now you sure don't want to press this in there too hard. All that's going to melt anyway. Right there, it needs filling. Then come all this way to go back home with empty pockets. So anyway. Oh, this is going to be it. I had this here at church last Sunday. We had our big Thanksgiving eat. And it was best turkey I've had in a long time. Reminded me of Langville, Texas in 92? Christmas of 92. Yeah. I want this crumble to go at least all the way to the edge. That's what I'm doing right now. I think it'll make it up to heart. That's good. And he said to leave a heap in the middle. There's a small heap. All right, it's time to stick her in. I'm going to do my turkey after this later because I got time. And the chocolate pie I ate with the parade was great. I'm not hungry. But I will show you the finished product of this. This video could probably come out late this evening, Thanksgiving Day, but I promised to get it out. So, all right, here we go, Junior. We're going in the oven. Let me see if this happens. Probably won't see it. Oh, see, that's what messed it up. Okay, put your back. And you see me put it in middle rack of my oven. Whoa, that's not the middle rack of my oven. Hang on. Man, I cooked some chicken fries for the last thing I cooked in here, and I didn't set the rack right. Hang on here. It's too low. I don't want it scorching the bottom. Like I said this morning, by the seat of my britches. Pretty like you didn't hit the ground. Okay. Well, there ain't no luck to it. I'm blessed beyond more than I deserve. All right, we'll see y'all here in a little bit. Right on. All right, it went ding, so it's done. Put that up. Throw that in. Just, we're gonna need that. So no hurt itself. We're gonna pull it up here and look at it. Oh yeah. Yeah, bud. Well, oh, it come out perfect. Oh, that's great. Look at that. And that thing will set. Yeah, it's almost burnt around the gold brown around the edges. Perfectly done. Perfectly brown. It looks good on the bottom. Oh, it's going to be great. And it's It's kind of halfway between pecan pie and a streusel crumble top. Like a cake. Anyway, yeah, that crust is... I don't know if you can hear it, that picks it up. It's not completely hard, but that's what I want. It's done. It's got that crust top to it. I hope you can pick that up. It's good. It's done. It's got to set. I'm going to let it rest for at least 20 minutes. It's going to set for a minute because I got to do my turkey. That's going to be an hour and 15 minutes. I got a recipe for that. I'm not even going to do a video. This is going to be it. Well, this was it. Oh, I found some stuff out just now. See, I was in Miss Mitty's chat. It's Thanksgiving Day. She's live right now at the filming of this. And I Google the yam patties. All right, on the package it says yams, and then in parentheses it says sweet potato. Like they're the same thing. All right. And I didn't know, so I wonder what Google has. Google says that, let me get this where you see me. Google says that it basically, slaves brought it over, called them yammies, and we white settlers called them white Protestanted them into yams. They brought them over on the ship, and that's where the sweet potato come from. We went from yams to we were calling them sweet potatoes. They were calling them yammies, and it formed into either or. But there is a difference, according to Google. So that's Google's AI. So anyway, well, that's another one in the can, Junior. I'm Chris Odom, and y'all are pointed way down, not at me. There we go. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And everybody, remember, don't forget